This is the Schecter Sunset Triad, and it's the only guitar that I've ever seen with a humbucker that combines 3 single coils instead of 2. Now, I've only had this guitar for 1 day, so this video will just be my initial impressions. But my first thought was that scene from Spinal Tap, where Nigel explains that his amps go to 11.
Look, right across the board. What we do is, if we need that extra push over the cliff, you know what we do?
Put it up to 11.
11, exactly.
And the other guy says,
why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
yeah, I feel like you could just have a regular humbucker and then a boost pedal. But anyway, I'm getting way ahead of myself. If you're new to this channel, we like to start from the headstock and work our way all the way down, discussing all of the features that are going to be important to you in extreme detail. I should also mention that this video is not sponsored by anyone. I bought this guitar with my own money. So starting from the headstock, the first thing that I noticed about this guitar is that the headstock seems to be a lot larger than it needs to be. The space above the tuner seems to be extra long, and that can actually be a negative thing, which I'll show you in a second. However, the design does look cool, and the black on the headstock does match the black on the body, which we'll get to very soon. And we do have Schecter branded locking tuners, so that should make string changes very quick and easy. And we have fairly straight string pull from the tuners to the nut, so again, tuning stability on this guitar should be great. Now, when I first took this guitar out of the box, well, the first thing that I noticed is that it's a $900 guitar and it doesn't come with any type of gig bag, which is pretty frustrating, but okay, no big deal. When I put the guitar on my lap, the first thing that I noticed is that we do have substantial neck dive. Now, the neck dive isn't too bad. If you have the guitar on a strap with your right arm applying the normal amount of pressure you do when you're playing, that pretty much corrects the issue. That being said, I do think that could have been fixed with the headstock being slightly smaller or with the body being slightly heavier. I should also note that when I play my guitars, I tend to prop them up with a tool like this. And once I do that, that pretty much corrects the neck dive. Now, as we move down to the rest of the neck, we have a lot of positives that I'm happy to see on this instrument. First, we have an ebony fretboard over a multi-ply rosewood and maple neck, and the ebony does look very nice with the rest of the black accents on the guitar. And I also do really like Schecter's understated inlays. Now, if you're buying a guitar with a mega humbucker like this, you probably gravitate towards a thinner neck, and in this case we have a ultra thin C. I've certainly felt necks that are thinner than this one, but it is definitely plenty thin, and we have a 16-inch radius, which makes this guitar feel really, really fast. Something else that I'm very happy to see is 24 stainless steel frets on the guitar under $900, and it's of course from Schecter, which is a very reputable company. So I'm happy to see that. I couldn't find the exact fret wire that they use, so I don't know exactly the quality of the stainless steel, but I'm going to trust that a company like Schecter is going to give us the good stuff. So I'm happy to see that. The fretwork on this guitar is really, really good. There's no sharp fret edges anywhere. When I was playing it, I didn't find any dead spots. The leveling is really good, and the guitar came set up really, really nice from the factory. The action is very low, and it's nice and consistent from the first fret all the way down to above the 12th fret. So I do like the overall feel of this guitar, especially with the 16-inch radius. In fact, and guys, keep in mind, I'm not an expert in any type of guitars designed for metal, but I did immediately notice that when I picked up this guitar and felt the neck, it felt shockingly similar to my Ormsby Rusty Cooley one neck. The shape feels very, very similar. The multi-ply neck looks very similar. And even the volute on the neck, again, very similar to the volute on the Schecter neck. And the Ormsby also has substantial neck dive. And even the strap pin location is the exact same on the Schecter and the Ormsby guitar. In fact, these tuners also seem to be made by the same company, although they are branded slightly differently. So maybe these guitars come from the same factory. That will probably make the most sense. But the fact that this Schecter neck feels as good as the Ormsby neck, to me, that is a really, really good sign, since the Ormsby is, of course, a lot more expensive than the Schecter. We also have a bolt-on neck, and the bolt-on joint is very smooth, so that should be really nice for upper fret access. And now we're on to the body of this guitar. Now, I find metal guitar bodies really interesting because you have to strike the perfect balance of comfort and weight, because you don't want to have neck dive like this guitar has. See, there's really beautiful black gloss that attracts a lot of fingerprints, so you're going to want to have your microfiber cloth with you at all times if you're going to be recording YouTube videos with this instrument. And I should also mention that this gloss gets those very fine scratches very, very easily. So just in the couple of hours that I played this guitar, I can already see permanent scratches in the gloss from the pick. This is of course not a big deal, but you should keep that in mind in case you want to purchase this and resell it in the future. The forearm contour is fairly extreme as you would expect from a metal guitar, and we do have some comfort carving on the back for your belly as well. Finally, we have a very simple bridge that felt very comfortable in my use so far and has intonated very easily for me. And then we have master volume, master tone, and a 5-way switch. So let's now talk about the pickups on this guitar, because of course that is probably why you were all here to begin with. Now, although the selling point is of course the Triad pickup and the bridge, I do think that the rest of the configuration is really interesting and it sounds really good. So the first thing I'm going to do here is just play through all of the pickups on a clean tone, because I do think that this guitar sounds shockingly good for clean tones. And that will also give you an idea of how much extra push you're getting from the 3 single coils together versus just the 2 together. Now this usually doesn't happen, but when I was doing the clean tones and I got to my 3 pickup thing, my Axe-Fx started clipping extremely high. So I had to bring down the volume of everything based on how loud this pickup would be, and then kind of sculpt things around there. So I do potentially see that being a problem depending on how you like to use your pickups. So for example, if you want to have a guitar where you can use all of the pickups with just 1 amp setting, I'm not sure if this is going to be the guitar, because it's just so high output with the 3 combined. And now let's finally get to the point of the video. We need to hear how this guitar sounds with drive. So I have a few different drive settings on my Axe-Fx 3. I have one inspired by Metallica and another inspired by like gent modern metal stuff. So we're going to compare the 3 single coils to the 2 single coil sounds. However, to make this extra interesting, I'm also going to throw in another guitar to this comparison as a point of reference. That guitar is going to be my PRS DGT SE. And the reason I'm including this bridge pickup in the comparison is because this guitar is not designed for extreme metal. But I think you're going to notice fairly quickly that, well, I'll let you see for yourself. By the way, if you're interested in any of the other guitars you see in this video, there are already gear reviews of them on Patreon, link below, along with a ton of other lessons and other stuff. Also, since I never played metal before, I know like half of 2 riffs, so yeah. But I can play it this fast. So it's 6:15 in the morning on a Saturday, and I just got done recording the video you just watched. So you can do the math and figure out when I woke up and started planning the video. If you appreciate the effort, give the video a like. Share it with someone you know. So yeah, guys, those are my initial impressions. Again, I have not played this guitar for 100 hours yet, so I really can't say exactly how I feel about it. I do like the idea that Schecter is at least trying to make things different and new in their designs, but to my ears and in my playing and my amateur metal mind and ear, I don't think it is that important to have 3 single coils combined. And I do think you could just have a regular humbucker or even a single coil pickup with a boost pedal and the right amp, and you're going to get all of your metal stuff.
These go to 11.
Now, I know I kind of made fun of this guitar in the little intro there, but I love whenever any guitar company makes things that are weird and strange and unique, even if those things end up being useless. And I'm not saying this is useless, but just as an example, even if those things end up being useless, I like to see companies push the limits and push the boundaries forward, because we have plenty of super strats and we have plenty of Les Paul style guitars. At least go interesting, and this is definitely at least interesting.